you are in Africa, or you just use social media, you will know that the topic that trended or the issue that trended in Nigeria last week was justice for a certain girl, Ochanya, who passed in 2018. So since then, the matter was swept under the carpet. Nigerians are rising up again today to demand justice for the girl. Now, it's not just about justice for Ochanya. It's about the fact that when I listened to the sister's testimony, she said something that the mother visited her because it was the auntie's husband and the son, that's the girl's cousin, that actually sexually molested the girl for 5 whole years. 5 whole years the girl was living with them. The goal was for her to go to school because in the village where the mom lived, according to the interviews they granted, there was no school there, or there was no good school. So the girl was sent to the city where her auntie lived to go to school. And the auntie's husband and the son took turns to abuse this girl for 5 years. Now, one of the things that actually caught my attention, that got to me, was when this girl's sister, in her testimony, said the mother visited the girl every 5 days. That means every 5 days the mother visited the girl. This girl was abused constantly, consistently by father and son for 5 whole years. And these 5 years, the mother visited the girl every 5 days. Now do the math. 5 years, 5 days in 5 years. When I did the math, it was over 360 times. Over 360 times the mother visited the girl, and she did not even realize that something was wrong with the girl. The girl did not talk to her mother, because if the girl had talked to her mother probably would have taken up the action. The girl would not be issue of rest in peace today. So why did she not tell her mother? And why did the mother not know? What signs were there that the mother probably did not pay attention to? And as a parent, what signs do you need to pay attention to in your children? And why will your child not talk to you? It is all that we are going to be learning today. And one of the things we want to do now is to copy this video link and share. Share with every single parent you know who have children. Whether the children are living with them, the children are living away from them, it is super important at this point you share. Now, I also if you follow me on social media, that is on Facebook especially and Instagram, you would have seen the video I shared today. This was a mother who lived with her child under the same roof. And again, for another 5 years, the husband was abusing this child, and the mother was not aware. It was just by sheer luck that she found out. Now the child was not the biological child of the man. She was previously married, she had a divorce, and she remarried. So the partner was abusing her daughter under her roof for 5 whole years. She did not know. Ochanya's mother who said, okay, she was not living with them, but this particular one was living with her daughter. So why do parents not know? What are the signs as a parent you should look out for? It will not happen to you. It is not your lot. But what are the signs you should look out for? It is not just about sexual abuse. It is a lot more than that. Before we continue, again, I want you to copy this link and invite as many people as who have children, parents who have children. Invite people in your children's school. Copy the link, share in your children's PTA platform, share in your school, in your church platform, share in your old school association, share everywhere you have parents, share so that parents will come and know. Ochanya passed. If the mom had known on time, Ochanya wouldn't have passed. So now I want to start by an example, by sharing. So I'm copying the link. Just give me a bit of a moment and I'll come back to this class. Let me share also and invite people. Talk about children being able to open up to their parents. It's not just about sexual abuse. The truth of the matter is children go through a lot every single day. Children are curious. They have questions. They have struggles. They have challenges. They have disappointments. They have their battles. They make mistakes. They have crushes. They just have a million and one questions to ask. Now, if your child is not able to open up to you, if your child is not able to tell you what goes on with them, I mean, many times children are broken because every single thing around your child is shaping them from small to big. It is a simple truth. Every single thing is shaping them. So your children, they need to be able to talk to you. When they talk to you, that is even when you can now reinforce your values. You can teach them based on your values. Because very many times we wonder, okay, why are our children not behaving? Why their behaviors, why don't they align with our values? The truth of the matter is, not deliberately being targeted. The world has become something else, away from what we are teaching. And if the child cannot come up to you and share things with you, then it simply means that they are going to run with whatever they hear. They are going to run with whatever is available. And you don't know how that thing will shape them. They will fall back and say, I have done everything. Where did I go wrong? Where you went wrong, or where you went wrong was you not being able to have your child talk to you, for you not being able to earn your child's trust enough for them to talk to you, for you not knowing what actually was going on in the life of your child. I mean, think about it. How can you visit your child 365 and more times, and you did not even for once notice that something was wrong with her? Or she couldn't even she didn't have the boldness to tell you that something was wrong with her. Now, here's the thing. Today, I saw a post on the particular group on Facebook. Someone was saying, how can I be close to a child that is far away from me, or a child that is distant from me, something like that? How can I be close to that child? Is there anything you can do to know if your child that doesn't live with you, if something is going wrong with that child? Yes, there is something we can do. So what you want to do, like I said a while ago, just grab, copy this link, invite people you know, everyone you know, so that we can get started. We need to be able to earn our children's trust. Trust is not something we force. It's not something we demand, It's something we actually earn. It's something we should look forward to winning. It's a major goal. Favorite type of cake. It's a major goal. Life is a goal in parenting. Your child should be able to trust you. Your child should be able to open up enough for you to know what goes on in their life. When they have their first crush, you should know. When being bullied in school, you should know. When they are being pressured by academic work, or friends being pressuring them, they should be able to tell you. You should know. When they face disappointment, you should know. When they record failure, they feel, oh, I am a failure. You should know. You know why? Like I said, when you know, you are able to guide them. Sometimes these children, they need closure. They need healing. And this can only be possible if you know what goes on with them. If you don't know, if Ochayan's mom had known on time, she definitely would have protected her daughter like she did, and she would have gotten justice for her daughter like she's trying to do after a long time ago. So let me share my personal story with you. I remember growing up, I think I was about 12, 13 or so. It was in my secondary school. So I don't remember if it was junior. I think it was junior secondary school. So I had someone live around us, like an extended relative of mine, of ours, those kind of people you call my brother, and you're asking your mom or your dad, how is he your brother? And they can't link it. You are just from the same place. So one of the daughters and I were friends. So she lived in a very big compound, and she had a friend, she had a neighbor, Pedro. I don't forget his name. So Pedro then was telling me, oh, I should date him. I was still very small. I should date him. I told him no. And so one day he said to me, if you don't date me, don't ever come to this compound again. If you come to this compound again, I will deal with you. Okay, so I thought it was just a mere threat. It was not a big deal. So the following day, because Joy was my friend's name. Joy and I used to go to lessons together. I think it was junior Y. We used to go for extra moral classes together. So that day I went to call Joy for us to go together. And guess what? Pedro came in, saw me, and actually landed me a big slap. He slapped me, and my first impulse was go and tell my elder sister. So one of my elder sisters was quite popular. She was in school. She was in a student union. She was holding a key position in student union. So whenever she was coming home, she would come home with cars and siren. Everybody in the area knew her. She was beautiful. She was just like the happening everybody knew her, respected her. So I said, okay, I was going to tell her and she was going to fight for me. I went to tell her, and unfortunately, she didn't get my time. She wasn't going to fight for me. She just told me, go and tell mommy. And me tell mom or tell dad, no, first of all, my dad was going to ask me, why did you go there? What did you go and do there? Because we had a strict order, stay within the house. You have no business going outside. And my mom and my dad, they were always on the same page. So certainly I wasn't going to tell them. However, something happened, as I just started, I was crying because the slap the guy gave me, the slap was, the kind of slap that literally makes you see stars. The slap was, I think that's the most painful slap, beating or something I've ever received in my entire life. Sorry, please. What is she doing? So the guy, so as I was just crying, my mom walked in and, I had no choice. I told my mom, not even me, my sister told my mom, see what happened. And my mom got angry. She just dropped her shopping bags by the door and she marched to Pedro's house and she gave him the beating of his life. Pedro had run away from his house, had gone to his friend's house. My mom traced him to his friend's house, beat him blue, black, yellow, purple. And when the mom came, the mom was told, because the mom was a market woman. And so, when I mean market woman, someone that had not necessarily selling in the market, even though she sold in the market. So she was someone that was very streety, had this kind of energy, let's fight today. But my mom was just very calm that my mom just, her way was just go to work, go to church, and that was it. So everybody just saw my mom as one calm woman that wasn't going to do anything. And then that was it. And when the woman tried to fight for her, so my mom took on her. And that was the last time anybody in that neighborhood ever dared me and dared my siblings. So I always wonder now, why didn't I trust my mom enough to have spoken to her, to have told her even how Pedro threatened me and what happened. These are the things we are going to be looking at today. And if you have young children, or even if you don't have young children, have people around you that you have young children, again, you want to copy this link and share. Please invite people. Let people know something is happening there. We want to save another child. This video may just be saving another child. From being bullied, from being sexually abused, from a lot of things. So firstly, I want to talk about how to know when something is wrong with your child. In case you are joining this channel for the first time, this is the right time for you to subscribe. And before you subscribe, my name is Enimie Urebo. I'm a parent coach, I'm a psychologist, I'm a parent coach, and I'm also a teens mentor. So I'm the lead coach at the Visionary Parent Academy. It's a yearly academy where parents get empowered, they get skills, knowledge, the confidence to actually raise the children they have. It's a vibrant community that runs every year from January to December. So we are open for registration into the 2026 cohort, and you definitely want to join us. Our fee is very reasonable. For our fee is just 5,000 naira monthly. However, we don't take it monthly. We take it, you have to pay at once, or you can make a commitment and pay before the end of the year. Now, here is the fee. The fee is actually 84,000 naira, but from now to the end of November, we are registering for early birds, which is 60,000 naira. The academy has a lot of activities you are going to enjoy, a lot of activities that will transform your parenting. I think I should learn how to screencast so that when I'm talking, I'm sharing some of the things on my screen. You will actually see some of the testimonials and some of our interactions in the academy. It is very transformational. If you're in the academy and you take action, I guarantee you that your parenting will experience a different level. Your parenting will experience a different level. And next year is even going to be better because our curriculum for next year is such that our parenting is going to be very super practical. This set it has been about challenge. We do one challenge. From one challenge, we go to another. Educate your child about sex like a pro. Help your child excel in school. That's grow your child's brilliance challenge. Nurture success skills in your child. This month our challenge is on raising problem solvers. We just don't want to sit back and be complaining. We want to raise children who are problem solvers are starters. Problem solvers are solution driven. Problem solvers are world changers. Problem solvers are successful people. They are people that will literally say, when life throws lemons at you, you make lemonades. They are problem solvers. So this entire month, we are taking one activity a day for us to nurture problem solving in our children. Because if you look at the world around you, there are so many challenges. If our children don't know how to solve problems, hey, how are they going to navigate the times they are? So the Visionary Parent Academy, we read books, we have a vibrant community. You just want to join us. There is no way, if I want to start telling you all we do there, this video is going to be like forever, because what we do there is really, really impacting. So let's go. How do you know that something is wrong with your child? At this point, you want to get your writing materials so that you can take notes down. How do you know something is wrong with your child? Let me come from the angle of Ochanyan's mom, because she was not there. However, she visited them every 5 days, which means every week. She was visiting them every week. So I get that maybe the distance was not so far. So she would maybe she lived, there are, I'm just trying to remember now, think about it now. Like in my village, we have the local government area of my village is quite more, is big, kind of. So my village to that place is just like a short distance. You can even walk it. In those days, they used to walk beyond that place. So I think that is about the issue. The mom was living in the village. There were no good schools. Going to the bigger suburban every day to go to school maybe was not so not so easy. So the girl had to stay with her uncle or relative there. So I can understand how the mom was able to go there every 5 days. Maybe market days, they have market days there. Every 5 days she'll go there. So we are looking at using her as a case study for parents to understand when something is wrong with your child. Firstly, we already know this: sudden withdrawal. When something is wrong with a child, they withdraw. They are not as excited as they used to be. They are not as enthusiastic about life as they used to be. They are not as clinging or something. Now, here is the truth. Why some children may actually feel guilty, especially in the case of abuse, if they have been told it's their fault. If maybe the parents, they have already sex educated them, they've told them that no, don't do this, don't do that, and they have put it in such a manner that the child is afraid, or they have put it in a manner that the child feels that they have a role to play if something ever happens to them. If something ever happens to them, they have put it in such a manner, so when something happens to them, the child will definitely feel guilty. You know how someone that feels guilty would not want to be so free with you. They literally walk on eggshells around you. So if you are a parent, when you want to have this sex conversation with your child, or any conversation, you want to have it in such a manner that there is no conversation, how do I put it, that is forbidden. There is no conversation that you will have to guilt trip your child. Never, ever guilt trip your child. I know parents do this. They want to make their child feel that, you want to make your child more responsible. So you want them to know that they have a role to play in whatever happens to them, or in the events around them. So when you do this, you are instilling guilt in your child. In the event that something happens to them, God forbid bad thing, they feel guilty. That guilt they feel will make them just naturally, when somebody feels guilty, how they are no longer their bubbling self. So that is it. So and one of the things that happens is that for some children who are naturally withdrawn, parents may find it difficult to understand that the child is withdrawn, that the child is actually withdrawn. Like I have my older son is not a child that is is a child, should I use the word mood swing? No, he's not mood swing per se. He's predominantly phlegmatic. So if you understand temperament, you will know that there are some people, they have this blunt affect. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look for the better word to use now. Blunt affect, like when you look at them, you don't know what you are seeing. You don't know if they are happy. You don't know if they are sad. You don't know if they are excited. You just don't know the mood. You cannot just tell their mood by looking at them. Because very many times they look as if something is happening. They look as if the whole world is on them. So if you have a child who feels that way, now it becomes difficult for you to know when something is wrong with that child. Now, this is why it is super important. One of the things you do as a parent, you do everyday check-in. Everyday check-in. You encourage your children to keep journals. Everyday check-in, journaling, and you talk to them, like I say in the Visionary Parent Academy, every time you share your personal experiences, your personal challenges, because there are some children that don't talk like that. So you share your personal challenges, you share your personal experiences with them every single time. That you can also motivate them to talk. When you are talking about your day, you ask them open-ended questions. You are always talking, because ordinarily it will be as if, let me use a common word, it's a heavy ram to talk. Yes, words they heavy ram to talk. You understand what I mean? That's, it's as if they just, even talking is heavy for them. So you need to always reach out to that child. One way for you to be able to um know that something is wrong with your child, because in such case, those children, they will have to tell you what is wrong with them. They have to tell you, and then you will not see it. Yes, I know that for sometimes it can be confusing. Like I said, if you have children who are naturally calm, and then they are now approaching the stage of puberty that affect their mood, it may make the whole thing more difficult for you to understand that something is wrong with them. But hey, it is why in the Visionary Parent Academy, we encourage every weekday bonding, every week bonding. We encourage having our children in a very, waking them up well. We encourage a certain lifestyle that will always make your child, that will light up their spirit, that will put them in a good place. We encourage that lifestyle, so that no matter how quiet, how withdrawn, how laid back your child is, your home is not contributing to it. So you will be able to observe patterns in your child, and you are able to understand, okay, this pattern, is it because of puberty? Is it because my child is the calm type, or something is actually wrong somewhere? So you need to pay close attention to your child. Like I said, journaling, have constant activities, watch a movie together, one-on-one time, bond together, play activities and all of that. And when your child feels, okay, I'm not in the mood, you want to bother to actually understand, talk to them about your own experiences. It makes it easier for them to talk to you. Because some children, we have another type of children, if you know about temperament, melancholic children. When something happens, they feel dirty, they feel ashamed. So when you share your stories with them, it's easy for them to see you as human and be vulnerable to you. Number two, this one is easy: change of appetite, and or sleep. That one is easy for us to know. When our children don't eat as much as they used to. I have chickens, for example, and they are not eating as much as they used to. I called the woman I called my mentor when it comes to chicken rearing. I asked her, my chickens are not eating though. She asked me to go and get a job. So it's easy for you to know that there's something wrong with your child when they are not eating as much as they used to. When they have drop, when they are not able to concentrate as much, when they are forgetful, when there's drop in their performance, generally academic performance. One of the things that happens to parents is that we always think our children are misbehaving. When something is happening to these children, we think they are misbehaving. We just have our mind programs that children are always misbehaving. Sometimes it is not misbehavior. It's actually a communication. They are telling us what is wrong with them. So sometimes your child they are dropping in their performance. They are not meeting expectations again. You feel they are misbehaving. Sometimes they are not misbehaving. They are just burdened. They are losing interest in important things. Sometimes they're even self-hating. So when your child performance is dropping, maybe home performance in the home front, maybe academic performance, when they are not enthusiastic as they used to be before, you want to know that there may be something wrong. It's not every time they're misbehaving. It's not every time there's a negative influence. It's not every time they want to tell you, okay, I'm a big boy now, I'm a big girl now. It is not every time. Sometimes really something is wrong with them. You know how you are not happy, how you are in a bad mood, how you just don't feel like doing things, how your mind is so wrapped up in what is going on around you that you don't remember what you are supposed to do, or you sometimes you are just how do they call it? You are lost in thought, you forget things, how you are burdened. I've seen people when they are in a situation, they go almost crazy. I remember a family friend one time, she lost her immediate younger sister. The girl had just finished university and she had an extension or something. So she went, but not that she had an extension, a lecturer was giving her stress. So she went back to the school to check with the lecturer. On her way back, the vehicle had an accident and she died on the spot. I remember when they told them this woman, she was, if you see her on the road, not the mom now, the first daughter, the elder sister, when she was going on the road, she was if like something was happening to her, like she was someone who had gone insane. Her hair has no slippers, nothing, everything was just, that was a girl that used to have steez, demure in all way, but that one has steez vanished that day. So when something is happening to your child, because events can happen that will break them, you need to understand. I remember one time my daughter, I went to pick them. She's usually very chatty. When she sees me in school, she hugs me. Sometimes she just covers my eyes like this and asks me to guess as if I would not recognize her voice and know and understand and recognize her palm on my eyes. She does that all the time. But that day I went to pick her, she was just like, she just sat in the car. I was asking her, because we usually have conversations, how their school went, how their day went, and all of that. I was asking, and she was giving monosyllabic answers. It was later I realized that, okay, she told me that she and her friends, they just broke up that day. Her friends just suddenly started not talking to her again, and, she was hurt, So you need to understand that when things happen to your child, their mood, everything about them, so it affects their performance generally. So when your child is not doing things properly as they used to do, they're not meeting expectations, they're not enthusiastic about things they used to be enthusiastic about, you just don't want to sit back. Sometimes when they're even rebelling, like they just snap, they just talk to you the way they're not supposed to talk to you. It's not always about, oh, the child is misbehaving. It can actually be something, it can be something from a place of fear, from a place of defense, from a place of why didn't you protect me, from a place of my life is shattered, from a place of leave me the heck alone, I don't care. It may be from all that place. So when your child is dropping in their performance, you know that, yeah, something is definitely wrong. Another thing you need to watch out for is when your child is over compliance or over rebellious, you know that there is something is wrong. When they are over compliance, when they have done something bad, right? They want to cover for it. It's just like when you have done something, you are feeling guilty. So every time you just want to, you want to please that person to make up for it. So maybe they are guilty in them. Oh, you have warned them about doing something for the longest time, and they still went ahead to do that thing. Now they are feeling guilty. They are looking for a way to compensate for that guilt they feel. So they are over compliant. They are over compliant, especially if it doesn't take it doesn't take it doesn't take process. Is it process now? It doesn't. Yes, children can change. Maybe your child was misbehaving before, suddenly your child changed. It's possible. But sometimes, many times, it's just gradual process. But when you just see from 1 to 100, you will know that, it's just like the common thing we see when the man will ask the wife, oh yeah, what do you want? We see this happen. Facebook skit, they show it every time. The woman will suddenly start praising the man, will start being good, nice to the man. I saw something one time. The man was eat and drop the plate. The woman will collect the plate, quickly go and wash. The man will wear the shoes inside the house. The woman will collect the shoes, quickly go and put them where they're supposed to be. So the man was just like doing things that he would usually do, and the woman will spark. The woman will be angry. And then the man said, okay, now come out with it. Come out with it. What do you want? What do you want? And the woman said, okay, I need some money, I want to buy new hair or stuff like that. That's exactly what happens. So when when something is wrong with your child, they feel guilty about it, especially they are over compliant. So you want to look out for that. And some children also, they are rebellious when something is wrong. Just like some people, they use intimidation to pass a message. Like I shared my story at the beginning. If you are just joining, you want to go back to the beginning and watch that part when we are done. So I shared my story. Pedro was going to use intimidation to make me his girlfriend, like the story that is trending of Regina and Ned. That we hear that Ned has arrested Regina's brother, and the term for releasing the brother is that Regina has to come back to the house. If Regina doesn't come back, he will not release the brother. That is what we are talking about. Some people use intimidation. So if your child is someone that doesn't know how to negotiate, that doesn't have skills, that is not very skillful or anything, or maybe your child is someone that uses intimidation to get their way, they actually want to rebel against you. That is one of the reasons that there is something wrong with your child. Another one is loss of interest in their favorite activities. Loss of interest. You see things, I just mentioned that a while ago. Like my daughter, when I pick her up, she's excited. She's telling me, how their school went. Before we get home, she has told me everything that happened in school, from what the classmates said, from the topic they were taught, from what the teacher said. Sometimes she would tell me word by word, the teacher that came, the teacher that did not came, the teacher that said, but that day she was not just in the mood. That's something. No, lack of interest. They are no longer interested in the things they used to be interested in. You will know that there is certainly something wrong with this child. Avoid certain people or places. Avoid. Sometimes they don't have a choice, like the case of Ochanya. She didn't have a choice. She was living right with them. But, when you mention certain people or when you mention certain places or events, the way your child will react, if you watch the body language, to tell you that, okay, maybe there is something. I also shared a video I shared earlier on. I shared a video earlier on about a stepfather who abused the child for 5 years. You can go to my Facebook and you will find it there. How did the mother eventually find out? She found out when she called the girl on the phone, and the girl told her, she called the nanny, and the nanny said the girl had a stomach pain or something. So she called the girl, and when she was asking the girl, what did you take? What have you been giving drugs? The girl said no, that the stepfather said he wasn't going to give me a drug, that he was going to help me massage my back. So the stepfather now said, no, I didn't say that. And the girl got really angry and defensive. Why are you lying? You said that. You said that. That action, that attack, that girl's reaction that the stepfather said he was going to massage her back for her was what gave the woman the signal that something is definitely wrong. Why would the girl talk to the man like that? Why would the girl, be so angry at the man like that? That was what kind of gave her the impression that something may have been going on, and true to her suspicion, something was really going on. So when your child begins to avoid some people, some places, and they don't want to talk about some events, they are hesitant about certain topics, people, or you see with their body language generally, maybe they are aggressive towards a particular person or place, or when you talk about event, or they are calm when you talk about the particular person, place, or event, you know that, okay, there may have been something wrong with your child. Another thing is excessive screen time or emotional numbness. Excessive screen time, not just excessive screen time. I shared a post, was it today or yesterday? I shared a post about when we don't learn emotional independence. We don't learn emotional independence, we are going to be emotionally dependent. Now, it is why people, when they are going through a lot of things, they become addicted. I remember I lived in a compound one time. There were 3 men there. So the 3 men, they were talking. my husband and the two other tenants, they were talking, and one of them was saying that whenever he's stressed, he's on the right frame of mind, that is when he wants his wife the most. That what he does is just, he doesn't even know. So they were not talking. You know what I mean? I don't know if YouTube will take that down. I mean, we flag if I'm using the word. So that's what happened. So we are talking about, was saying that whenever he's just stressed or he's not in a good place emotionally, his wife, they hear him, because he can go on and on. It's just a way of relaxing himself, or just venting. That's how he kind of vents. So emotional dependence. So when children, sometimes they just want to, like, I just want to drown myself. Like adults want to drown themselves in alcohol. You want to drown yourself in something. So when you see that your child is addicted to screen, too much screen, sometimes when you take screen away, they're unhappy. Sometimes when you take screen away, they're aggressive. You want to see that, okay, there is something certainly wrong with them. Now, these are some of the reasons I have to know that there is something wrong with your child. Now, let me go back to Ochayan's mom. So I want to go back to her using, a parent is in my inbox. She sent a message the other day. She was asking me something that, okay, her husband, okay, not her husband, she was dating a particular guy before she got pregnant for the guy. She had a child. The child is about 12 years now. And she remarried. And so they went to court, maybe for, what do you call this thing? I don't remember now. Right to keep the child. If you remember, please put it in the comment section. Right to keep the child. So went to court, and court agreed that, okay, she would take the child, and the father could have access to the child anytime. That was the agreement. That was going on smoothly until the father came one day and said, okay, the child should come and spend the holiday with me. And because that was the contract they had, the child went to spend the holiday with the dad, and the dad relocated and never returned the girl back. And so she was worried, and she was asking me, why did the dad, how was she, what should she do about it? I told her something that is I was very frank when I told her, see, because her reasons were that the father is still single, and the father is not very financially comfortable, and she works from home. So even though she didn't tell me her fears, I could sense her fears could be she doesn't want a case of father molesting the daughter because of all the events around the father. And she now forwarded the voice note the man sent to her. In the man's voice note, even though the man did not say it, I could also feel the man's fear that the man was trying to, I don't want a case of my daughter being molested by stepfather. That is the case. Now, here was something I told her. She doesn't know where the man relocated to or anything. I told her, since the girl is 12 years old, what you can do is, it's time for you to be super friendly with the man. Not for the man's sake, not because you ever enjoy the relationship or anything, but for your daughter's sake. Friendly with the man so that the man can give you access to the girl every single time. Now, you are not just going to be friendly with the man. You are also going to tell the girl, when you get to school, help him with a teacher's number. Possibly a teacher that is married, maybe the headmistress or someone that is very responsible, not a single girl, probably that want to date the man and we're going to be telling the man anything. So when you get to school, every single time, call the teacher to speak with the girl. It can be your little secret to the girl. The girl doesn't have to tell the father that mom calls me in school every time. She doesn't have to. Yes. And then you can also tell the girl she's 12, like Ochayan's mom, she's 12. So you can encourage her to have a safe circle. Even in church, she can have somebody's number. On the streets where she usually goes to buy something. You can just ask her to get someone's number. And you always call. Let them help you. You just call to find that one information or the other. You are just keeping safe. And you call your daughter every single day. Now, if you know that place, like I told her, if you know that particular place where they live in, you can go on social media or anywhere, see if you can get people that actually know them, people that know that place, that you can now be able to reach. Because from what she said, she did not know the place. She's not been there. But I know that's not a big deal. that can be figured out if she wanted to. So Ochanyan's mom, though she did not live with Ochanyan, she visited every 5 days. So maybe it was every market day, she would just stop by there to greet her daughter. Every 5 days, she would have been looking at body language. Body language, she looks dull, because she will not tell me that in that 360 something times she visited, there was never a day only she and her daughter were left alone. Were left. So it is why it is super important. You have it was even being as in having a daughter away from home will give them opportunities. When you call, you have things to gist about. You are going to talk about everything around you. Oh, do you know this woman? She has relocated. Oh, do you know this boy? The boy has moved. Oh, the boy has gotten admission. He's now in the university. That small girl, that girl that time, she has gotten pregnant. So, they will have something to talk about, especially because the girl once lived with the mother. And so the girl was familiar with everything, knew the people in the neighborhood, knew the mother's trade, knew the siblings. So every single time she had something. So when she goes there to visit the girl, they sit down, they are talking about certain things that may even bore the auntie. Then the auntie will stand up and leave. We bore all of them. Are you always gisting about people? You're always gossiping. It is not necessarily gossip. It is just to make sure that you are able to be close to your daughter. You want to be close to her, even though you are not physically close to her all the time. You still want to be close to her. You want to continue with that connection. I hope you have learned a lot from what I've shared so far. Okay, so now let's go to why children don't tell. I'll start by why I did not tell. I wasn't going to tell my mom. It was simple. My dad was very, very strict. I was afraid that if I told him, the first thing was going to be a knock on my head. I was going to receive the beating of my life, because we had a strict instruction: you have no business going out, playing about, mixing with other children. You had no business. And I broke that rule. So I was afraid that my dad was going to give me the beating of my life. So many times, children do not tell because they are afraid. Not even afraid of what has happened to them. Not even afraid of someone who has done something to them. But they are afraid of your reaction as a parent. I remember one time I was on a particular, I think, Concerned Parents and Educators. Someone shared a story about someone talked about what happened to her child in school, that what happened between her child and the teacher. And she went further to say that my children know that if anything happens in school, the first thing I'm going to do is deal with them and ask them. Like, she was bragging that the first thing she was going to do was something like ask them what they did wrong or what was their business. I was like, are you kidding me? So your children do not have right to be children. Like, growing up, we're made to stay inside. Really? What if when we were bored? That was the era. Now, it's easy for children to stay inside because they watch television from morning to night. Television back then was 4 o'clock. You know that. And even that 4 o'clock, we start with lines and then with news and all of that. So we have to go out to play. So your reaction is the very first thing your children that will make them not to talk to you. How do you react when things happen? I remember one time in my children's school back then in Lagos, there was a woman. I think that was when we were making inquiry about the school. So she was telling her daughter, toddler then, 2 years or thereabout, to stop running. You know how children can be. The girl did not hear. She did not stop running. She was still running. And eventually she fell and got hurt. And the mother, on top of that falling, smacked her. So that good for you. I'm going to rub methylated spirit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That kind of a girl, if anything happens tomorrow, she's going to cover it. She's not going to tell her mother anything. She's not going to tell her mother anything. The way you react. Now that I'm talking about this now, I remember when going to a chemist and seeing one boy there with his leg swollen. It was so bad. You know what happened? He fell and he sprayed his ankle, something like that. Was it sprayed his ankle? No, I think there was I think he fell on a broken bottle. So there was a bottle in his leg. And for days, this boy did not tell his mom. He was pretending. His body was hot. The mom was giving him something. until that day the boy talked. The way the woman was reacting in the pharmacy, you could tell that if the boy had told the woman would have been all over the place. I told the woman that, you see wetin make your pikin no tell you na this reaction wey you dey do. I know he may have been afraid of injection, he may have been afraid of drugs or you massaging it, but the way you are reacting now, if I was him, I would not tell still. So the way you react to your children's behaviors, whatever it is, whether a mistake or someone reports them to you, anything. It is why in the Visionary Parent Academy, one of the things we say is pause. It is not an emergency, except it is literally an emergency. A life is involved, a house is burning. Like, it is not an emergency. So you need to be able to pause and process what is happening before you can respond to it. If you don't pause and process, you are just going to respond impulsively. See yourself just responding without thinking. So in the Visionary Parent Academy, we must think before we respond. We are not impulsive creatures. So as a parent, the way you respond to your child matters a great deal. Like in my case, my dad was going to respond dramatically. You know, he was going to blame me. The question would have been, what did you go there to do? Buro oluweni, as in if you are from Isha in those states, you understand. Buro oluweni, anyone say, what did you go there to do? Is that your house? That was it. He was going to blame me because I went there. If I hadn't gone there, Pedro wouldn't have slapped me, which was true. That was what I did not say. So if you are always dramatic about reactions, see, you need to calm down. Now, this is why being emotionally intelligent in parenting, being emotionally intelligent in parenting is not even negotiable at all. You see, parents, parents are bragging. I've heard parents talk to me about, when in the morning, you hear me shouting, when my children are preparing for school, you hear me shouting. I'm like, take a medal, take a medal, take a trophy. You are shouting in the morning. You feel you should brag about it. You are not shouting because your children are making you shout. You are shouting because you are not emotionally intelligent. QED. So as a parent, if you are still reacting dramatically to your children's behaviors, just note that you are creating a boundary. You are creating a boundary. They are not going to be able to talk to you when things go on with them. Yes, I've just talked about another fear children have is that you will not believe them. Now, I listened to Ochanyan's sister's testimony. She said that her mother was there, visited every 5 days, that because the mother held those people in high regard, you know. So Ochanya may not have seen any reason to have told the mom, because she will fear that the mom will not believe them because she held them in high regard. Now, here's what I say to you as parents. If you have nurtured integrity in your child, if you have told your child to be honest, one way to prove it is to believe them. At least, even if you do not believe your child, investigate. Investigate. Oh, we always assume. A lot of parents have trust issues. I don't blame us. One is we have been programmed not to trust our children, to have trust issues when it comes to our children. And secondly, we see children all around. And because we always see children as misbehaving, we have trust issues. Now, because we are not able to trust our children, even when they tell us things, we do not believe. So if over time you have doubted your child's behavior, I tell you something, your child will learn not to talk to you when things happen to them. They'll be like, she doesn't trust me. She will not believe me after all. So why would I tell her? And if they now see those people, the way you regard those people in high esteem, you take them their words, hook, line, and sinker, and they look around, people hold those people in high esteem. Nah. So as a parent, see, people can pretend a lot. Ochanya, I saw the Ochanya's auntie's husband. I think he's a knight. He's a knight. A knight in the Catholic Church is like you have deacons and deaconesses or ministers in in some churches. He's a knight and a knight of St. Mulumba. I saw KSN, that's Knight of St. Mulumba. So someone that is a knight like that in a Catholic church, and then maybe when it comes to harvest or church building and all of that, he's just donating every now, just donating. You know, he's a respectable man in the church. He's a lecturer, a respectable man in the school, a respectable man in the society. It is super difficult. It is super difficult for anyone to believe your child. That this is where you as a parent, you must believe your child. You must. You start letting your child know that you trust them now. If you are a parent, listen to me, start letting your child know that you trust them now. You trust them. Let them know. I say this in the Visionary Parent Academy all the time. I say to my children that, see, when I say don't tell lies, when I say be integrous, you are not doing it for me. You are doing it for a favor. You are doing it for yourself. You are not doing it for me, you are not doing it for your dad or your siblings. Because you are doing it so that we can trust you. If something ever goes wrong, we can go there and vouch for you. And for my kids, a couple of times, something have happened in school, and I have had to take their words to the bank. Like, I've had to go there, believing their version of the story, and their version of the story turning out to be true. I remember one time something happened in my son's school, and my son told me about it already. When I got to the school, the teacher said a different version. I told the teacher that was not what my son told me. And the two admins in the office were trying to tell me, children. I said, no, my son told me this. No, one of the admins and the teacher was saying, are you not saying I'm not saying the truth? I said, I'm not saying the truth, but I'm not saying you are not saying the truth, but this was what my son told me. And guess what? Eventually, the teacher that witnessed the whole thing entered, because the teacher that I was talking to, he was not there. He was told. So, and he did not hear, and not that he was lying, not that he was told a lie. He was just told a version of the story. He did not investigate. He just assumed. For example, my son went to the staff room to report an issue. So when he got to the staff room, he was told that Noel, because he heard my son's name, he heard the story, he heard my son's name, he assumed that my son was one of the culprits, and he went to discipline all of them. By the time my son told me that, what happened? When I told him, he was trying to say no. By the time the teacher came in, the teacher told him exactly what my son said. That was when he realized, okay, he was the one that was wrong. So I tell my son, and after that day, it was a teachable moment. I told him that, imagine I got there. I was able to stand my ground. I was able to pursue justice for you. Why? Because I have been able to trust you. If tomorrow you empty my trust towards you, then I can't fight for you. So this is why we talk about parenting, not just be one-off, because one of the things parents do all the time is when something happens, they just come with that thing that has happened. They want you to say, okay, do this, do that, it will go. I tell them, no, parenting solutions, when you are getting solutions to your parenting struggles, it is not in one thing. It is not like, oh, I have a headache, go and take paracetamol and your headache is gone. No, it is a process. It takes time. So you have to be committed, patiently committed. Unfortunately, very many parents, they are not able to stay patiently committed. They just want one magic. There is nothing like magic in parenting. That is why in the Visionary Parent Academy, we stay 1 year long. Even after that 1 year long, you still stay again, because you need an accountability. You need someone to hold you, to remind you every single day. You need to be in that space where you can learn, unlearn, you grow every single day. So if you are not in the Visionary Parent Academy as a parent, please, you need to be with us. You need to register. Our fee for now to the end of November, it is just 60,000 naira. And for all you will gain, geez, The fee you pay is for us to be able to keep the class running, because we do things from a place of passion. Passion. Okay, let's go. So I was talking about, what was I talking about now? I was actually talking about being able for your children to trust you. For you, trust you. One of the fears they have is that nobody will believe them. Now, even if everybody in the world doesn't believe them, you as a parent, you should believe your child. There's a saying that picking not fine, your mama like her. So even if everybody says your child is not fine, in your eyes, your child is fine. So everybody doesn't believe your child, you believe your child. Imagine if Ochanya did not have that fear that the mom would not believe her, right? If she had told her mom and her mom had gone to investigate, what do you think? She would have taken her to the hospital and investigated, and the truth would have been out. Now, another fear children have is that the victims or the perpetrators always tell them that, I will harm you if you tell. Yes, I was having a conversation with my son, and on this Ochanya issue, I asked him, why do you think he didn't tell? She didn't tell. He said, maybe they threatened him. They threatened her and to harm her. And, she was afraid because they could have carried out the threat. I asked him, why do you think they could have carried out the threat? And he was like, they would have just carried out the threat. And I broke it down to him. Now, this is what parents we need to do, because one of the reasons your children will not tell is because of fear. And so you will break it down to him. Like I broke it down to him. I said, okay, if Ochanya had told the mom, right, and the mom had gone to the mom, if the mom is emotionally intelligent, she will not just react dramatically, right? No. So what would she do? She'll go and do her investigation. When she finds out, she could have even said, okay, Ochanya is coming for holiday or something. Then when she now finds out, then she will now go and report to the police. When she gets to the police comes to the man's house and arrests the man. The man is out of the picture. So where will he see Ochanya to kill? The man will not see Ochanya to harm again because it's out of the picture. Now, even if the man is not out of the picture, the mom knows, he goes to take the matter to the police. He tells people about the matter. And he tells the people that one of the things the man told Ochanya is that he was going to harm Ochanya. So if anything ever harms Ochanya, please, the man is responsible. Now, because the man knows that everyone is aware, the man is going to be careful. The man is not going to harm Ochanya, because if the man does, it's already a proof that he's guilty. He's guilty. He's trying to cover up his mess. So I had this explanation and it made sense to my son. So if as a parent, when you are sex educating your child, telling them that if somebody ever says they will harm you, because I told him that one of the reasons the man said, the reason they always say they will harm their victim is so their victim will not tell. Because they know that if their victim tells, they are not going to be free. Their freedom will be taken. Something can happen to them. They'll be guilty and they will face the consequence. They do not want to face the consequence. So they will do everything within their power to make sure the victim doesn't tell, including threatening the victim. So we looked at it together. He realized that, yes, he will not be able to actually harm Ochanya as he has threatened. That if he had threatened to harm Ochanya, he would not be able to harm Ochanya. That is it. So fear that the perpetrator is going to do harm to them will make your child not tell. And you have to now deal with that fear. One of the ways you actually deal with that fear is, as a parent, I say to a parent, you stand up for your child. It's not just by saying, you physically defend your child. Stand up for your child. Protect your child. Let your child see you protecting them. They will know that you can defend them, that bad guy will not harm them. When they see you defending them physically, it's not the one that something will happen to your child because, you want to be calm. You want to leave it for God. No. Let your child see that, hey, sometimes my mom, I remember one time in my children's school, there was a boy living with me. He was 10 years old. They did a party. He was Robo. Robo culture. They have walking stick. That was it. He was Robo culture. He had the walking stick. So We got to the school after the whole event. Another woman took his walking stick and said that was his son's walking stick. So the boy was trying to explain that that was not your son's walking stick. He brought the walking stick to that side. Maybe the boy, the woman and the son, they had the same walking stick. The woman's son and him, they had the same walking stick. But the woman was not listening. He was insisting. So eventually they came to call me. So when I told her I was trying to, have a civil conversation with the woman, she wasn't taking it. I told the woman, you are going to give me that walking stick today. And we are, you know why I responded that way? The walking stick was just about 4,000 naira before 5 within that neighborhood. It's not something I cannot easily replace. But at that point, I just remember that I needed to show my children that, see, I can actually defend them. That was why I stood up to the woman. I demanded for the walking stick, and I told her that this walking stick you are going to give me, I'm not going to walk away. So whether you like it or not, you are giving me that walking stick today. And after a while, the man was ranting and raving. She was talking, you are this, you are that. I told her, you are a wicked woman, because these are kids, you are bullying them. Are you kidding me right now? Eventually, she gave me the walking stick, and I took it away. I just did that I wasn't dramatic. I wasn't fighting. I wasn't doing anything. I just told you, man, this walking stick you are going to give me, you are not going to move away from here until you give me this walking stick. And we're there. She was ranting. She was talking after everything. You cannot afford walking stick. Okay. We didn't fight. I didn't abuse her. I was not insultive. I made my point clear. So what am I trying to say? I did that so my children will know that I'll be able to defend them. As parents, and once in a while, let your children know you can defend them. When they know that, it's another win for you. They can trust you when someone has done something to them. Someone bullies them. Someone is pressuring them. Someone is sexually abusing them. They can trust you to come and talk to them. They will not have that fear that the person will kill me, because they know that you are going to defend them. Another one is loyalty to the manipulator. Now, this is a very, very big one. Everyone has their love language. Some people, they will not just be, some people, before they want to get to the child, maybe they want to, what is it called? I saw where someone said Regina Daniel started drinking because of Ned. Ned told her that he needed her to be more romantic. So drinking alcohol will help her to be more romantic. That was why she started drinking. You see, manipulators, they will enter you. If your child meets a manipulator, they will enter them in a subtle way that your child will be loyal to them. When it comes to sexual abuse, they will understand your child's love language. They will understand your child's weaknesses. They will make your child be the one to yearn for them. Your child will feel they are in love. So because your child feels they are in love, or child feels, oh, this uncle wants the best for me, this uncle cares about me, or this auntie cares about me, your child will not be able to speak, because now they are loyal to that abuser. They are loyal. When they are loyal, they want to protect that source of pain, that abuse. They can even manipulate them. Oh, it's not my fault. You are too beautiful. You are the one that caused it. You were the one that is doing like this. You were the one. They are loyal. They now become loyal to that. Like the woman said, how did the husband start abusing the girl? She said, according to the girl, when she finally found out, the girl said, one day when she was about 7 or so, she entered the man's car. She saw a woman's undies and a woman's makeup. And because her mom doesn't wear makeup, and the girl kind of knows her mom undies, she was like, these are not my mom's undies, though. And then the woman took them and threw them over the fence into the empty land that was close by. The video is in my YouTube, is in my Facebook. Go and watch it. The man threw them over the fence. And the girl now said, okay, I was going to tell my mom. So the next thing the man did was, because it was just the man and the girl that were at home, the next thing the man did was to go to the girl's room, and that was the first time he forcefully entered the girl, defied the girl. Like, that's another manipulating. the girl was guilty. Your mom has told you, because the mom has told the girl, previously, don't do this, so don't let any man touch you here, don't let any woman touch you here. She says she's always sex educated the children. So when the man now did that thing, now like forcefully did it to the girl, like making the girl guilty, you have done what your mom said you should not do, right? So you are in trouble. So go and tell your mom that you saw a girl's pants and all of that. And your mom, I will tell your mom what happened. That was it. Manipulation. He was able to. This is why, see, when we talk about sex education for girls, for children, there are tricks and coming up to update your skills and teaching your children. The same way these people are also updating their skills on how to get the child to keep quiet, because they thrive on secrecy, silence. If the child doesn't speak, nothing will happen. And they want the child not to speak. Now, if you join the Visionary Parent Academy next year, you are going to be taking how to sex educate your child challenge. 1 whole month of you, because one of the things that happens is parents don't know a lot of the areas to cover. Some parents are not comfortable with the topic, while some don't know some of the areas to cover. So, but if you join us, that will not be an issue. You are going to learn all the areas to cover, and you are also going to feel very comfortable sex educating your child. Just imagine that. So if the girl had known that, okay, what the man, if the girl had known that the man was also the bad guy again, the man was also the one that the man said, if she told the mom that he was going to silence her, like harm her, like I've explained the issue of harming in my conversation with my son. If you are just joining, go back. I don't want to be repeating what I've said before. So if you are joining, just go back to the beginning of this video. You have a lot to learn. And remember, it's brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. An academy, we are open for registration for 2026. With 60,000 naira before the end of the month, you can actually join us in the academy. Otherwise, after November, you pay 84,000 naira to join us. Now, these are some of the reasons that your child will not tell you something is going on with them. Now, here's what we are doing, what I want to do. On Friday, I want us to, I want to host, is it this Friday or next Friday? We'll be hosting a master class on, today is 5th, next Friday will be 14th. We'll be hosting a master class on how to earn your child's trust. 30 days to win your child's trust. It is going to be absolutely free. So it is going to be a 30-day challenge, winning your child's trust. 30 whole days to win your child's trust. One activity, from one activity to another every single day for 30 whole days. So if you are a parent and you would like to win your child's trust, if you are a parent, you need to sit and ask yourself, God forbid something is happening to my child, will they tell me? If you have answered as much as no, or you doubt if they will tell you, or even if you feel they will tell you, what you want to do is just ask now how you can join this 30 days. It's a free challenge. And at the end of these 30 days, if you take action, if you are consistent, I tell you something for free. You are going to have your child able to trust you enough to tell you when things go wrong with them. No matter how they are being manipulated, no matter who is manipulating them, no matter what they are facing, bullying, pressure, their curiosity, no matter what it is, their failures, they are going to be able to come and meet you and share with you. Again, if your child doesn't share with you, how will they find healing? How will you guide them? How will you reinforce your values? How will you remind them of who they are? You need to have your children to be able to constantly tell you what goes on with them. And it is what we are going to be doing. I'll confirm the date, maybe next Friday or so. I'll confirm the date. 1 month of daily activities towards earning your child's trust, towards winning your child's trust. Your child is able to trust you after the 30 days. And it is absolutely free. Absolutely free. Every single day, you get one activity. towards having your child be able to trust you to share with you what goes on with them. And if you are committed, you follow the challenge every single day for 30 days, I guarantee you that there is nothing going on in your child's life that you will not know. And because you know, you are able to guide them. Now, remember, this challenge is absolutely free. There are no hidden charges. You are not buying materials, nothing. Absolutely free. You come, you just join the challenge, and every single day you carry out the task and you report. You carry out the task and you report the task you have carried out, you report it, and we are all good to go. Thank you so much for joining the class today. Again, do well to copy this link and share. Invite everyone you know. Tell them that there's a class ongoing here. Thank you. My name is Enimi Orebo. We look forward to having you in the Visionary Parent Academy 2026 cohorts. Bye-bye.